Hey there, this is Mike Richtor from Unplugged Collective, and we're on Cannesversations at Possible 2026, where we have cam-worthy conversations everywhere the industry gathers. I'm here today with David Murnick. How you doing?
I am doing excellent, thank you.
That's great to hear. How's your Possible been?
Very warm.
Too warm?
Cannes warm.
I mean, that can's a little hotter than this.
Only with a lot less walking.
Can's less walking than
No,
this? This is less walking.
walking
I was
than
about to
Cannes.
say, this is not as much walking.
Yeah, unless you're walking off-site for a lunch or something like that. You're walking in air conditioning most of the time.
Well, you need good linen, right? That's what you need. You just need really, really good linen.
And about 20 pounds off.
Well, that can happen these days. It all just depends, right?
Exactly.
Always. Well, we're here to talk about some fun stuff today, get a little bit about agentic AI. We're here, at Possible, and thank you to Human for helping bring this to life during this amazing week down here in Miami Beach. Ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
Cool. Well, before we do, can you tell the world a little bit about you and what you do?
So I've been in our crazy fun industry for a little over 25 years now. I worked on all sides of the table, publisher, ad tech, startups, agency, and the last 5 years I've been running DLM, Digital Partners, working with dozens of companies in different capacity to help them grow their business, overcome obstacles and operation challenges, and just get to the next level. And I'm also here with 51 to Carbon Zero, a leading climate sustainability platform and enterprise solution.
So not only are you doing good things, I'd say you're quite heavily opinionated too.
On the right topics.
Sounds like an opinion. But we love an opinion. That's why we're here on Cannesversations. So first and foremost, what percentage of site traffic do you think is not human?
Oh, geez. It really depends on who you're following on LinkedIn. And some that say it's 96% and some that say it's, 10%. If I was nailed down to one answer, are we including like bots and like spiders and stuff like that?
Well, part of the topic today is we're talking about agentic advertising.
Or known bots, I should say, like stuff that we know about.
Yeah.
Then it's probably 60%.
Well, we always used to say bots were bad, right?
Most of them.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to see a world of bots that are technically good.
The bots are just counting the bots.
Right. I mean, it's going to be bots for bots.
Bots for bots. I think you have your next your next sponsored event.
That might be the next dating app. But, that's just what's going to happen. Bots for bots.
Bots for bots.
We should coin that. So, yeah, I mean, but it's interesting, right? You see the traffic is changing. We're always saying we want real people on traffic. But now it looks like sites, not just sites, but brands might want bots. They want those agents that are shopping for people, right?
Correct.
Have you done any bot shopping?
I have not done bot shopping, but I have used various AI platforms to, compare, contrast, or just get recommendations and hear who the top in a certain category are to shorten my window rather than just doing a regular search.
Has it been more efficient for you?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense of I'm getting to answers faster, but no, because now I'm spending 10 times as much time playing around with it and diving in more to get like better answers, new answers, faster answers, and the topic just changes as you go through it.
Sounds like the story of my life. I am constantly getting too deep into trying new tools, and the dog looks at me and goes, "Take me out, please." 16 hours later, right?
I have 3 dogs, and they all look at me all day long when I'm working from home of like, you don't love me anymore.
Right. Oh, the second I go touch the computer, he looks at me just like, oh, it's gonna be that day again.
Well, those that I've worked with or have done Zooms with, our youngest one is about 16-month-old golden retriever, who's like 80 pounds. And it's like Pavlov. As soon as he hears the Zoom, like ding, ding, whatever, comes over and puts his face right in front of the screen, like, hi, who are we talking to? I'm like, get down.
I mean, but that's going to be a really fun Zoom greeting.
It's broken the ice, and it's actually, God's honest truth, it has helped me win business. Like your calls were going okay, or, like not really interested. Oh, who's your dog? Oh, I have a dog too. And, we start talking about it and like, oh yeah, tell me more about what you know.
I mean, well, speaking of winning business, brands really love those good CTRs. They've loved them for years, don't they?
That's the end all be all.
Right. But do you think it's still a win if you can't verify who or what generated the click?
What you mean, like the bot clicks or a person or a dog or, you know, I mean, a click's a click, right?
A click's a click,
I
technically.
mean, everything buys stuff off the shelves, you know, it shouldn't matter. Yeah, I mean, we've been saying this for what, 20, 25 years, where the click was everything back in the day, and then the click was the only thing we had to do, and now we're questioning we went to questioning the clicks, and now we're questioning it for different reasons. Click-through rate has always been a directional indicator, right? You know, and you can weed out certain decisions with it, but you should be not making the majority of decisions based on just click-through rate.
That makes sense. I completely agree. I mean, it's been the most simplistic way of measuring, but sometimes it's the laziest way too. No offense, but
I'm
it
a
happens.
big fan of, there's a lot of value in branding, awareness, repetition, seeing the ads and then taking action on it later, seeing the ads 5 times or something, different areas going, almost subliminally.
Yeah.
And then taking actions in, the whole attribution thing that's been broken forever of like last click, attribution or somebody getting credit for it. It doesn't tell the whole story.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. Speaking of, attribution, we're always trying to scale things, especially in our advertising methods, right? And advertisers are wanting to grow both what their spend is, but also grow their results. How do you think, agencies and brands can scale their spend without scaling the risk of fraud?
Well, working with a trusted process, first off, right? Following the same process internally with your operations teams. I ran operation teams for forever, and you're only as good as the process that you follow, and then the tools that you're using to enact, and then obviously how they feed off of each other. You can't just rely just on technology. You can't just rely on the people, but implementation correctly. It comes down to having good partners. Whether they're a verification company, they're a tech company, they're a different type of add-on. I still believe that there's also no end all be all of like one solution that set it and forget it and you're done. There's a lot of great companies out there I've worked with in the past and that exist, that are here now and are just launching. But you need not necessarily redundancy, but it's part of your tool set.
I love that. I mean, it's very, very good knowledge to hear. You might want to rewind that, re-listen to that again. What is something brands think they understand about performance, but simply don't?
Oftentimes, I encounter this on the agency side, and then what I've been doing the last 5 years, working with different brands and agencies, they automatically assume that the numbers that they receive are based on valid traffic. It's every human saw every single ad, all the calculations downstream, make decisions on reinvestment and performance, and some are not capable of all the way through to purchase and circling the data back into planning and activation, on the front end. So oftentimes a lot of brands are making decisions on limited information or incorrect information, no matter how hard agencies are working and ops teams are working and technologies are helping to kind of ensure that there's still different things that get through.
It makes sense. I mean, it's important to pay attention to all those things.
It ain't easy.
Never. If it was, we'd have less people doing the things they do, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Now, where do you see the biggest gap between reported performance and reality?
Similar to the last question and answer is that, you got reported performance, which is, based off on a certain set of data, right? Different inputs from different tools, technologies, your internal system, your third-party system, the client system, and so on. Report a certain number. If any of the inputs going into it, the whole garbage in, garbage out, if anything isn't accurate, you're going to have a gap. And if there's as I mentioned earlier, if there's a process that's skipped and something's not implemented, you expose a gap there. If a technology partner you're working with has exposure in certain areas, doesn't cover you in certain areas, you have a gap there, and it all kind of compounds, and follows it through. So if it's 5% there and 5% there and it's going to add up.
Like they say in London, mind the gap.
Mind the gap.
Yes.
They do it with a better accent, though.
They do it with a better accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind you.
We'll have to work on that.
We should. Next time. Last but not least, where do you see clients optimizing towards the wrong things?
So a little think there. I was trying to be...
we love a good stumper, don't we?
Yeah, I was just trying to be either politically correct or sensitive to what I've heard. Sadly, whether they're performance-based or not, they're still, optimizing just on spend or kind of like, ROI based on spend, meaning, chasing the dollar down and chasing the CPM down, which is ultimately fed by incorrect data and non-human data and other variables that affect the performance. And they're like, well, I can get it for a $2 CPM and it's performing just as good, so let's put more money into that. And at the end of the day, they're not moving products off the shelf as much.
Right.
They'll scale it over across of a wide spend and report the number out on that, but it's not low dollars or low cost doesn't necessarily mean better performance.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense there. I mean, I think the key point here is, one, have good partners who can tell you exactly what's going on. Don't just shop for the bottom dollar. And mind the gap.
What's the old saying? Trust but verify?
I mean, I wonder what some people do.
Exactly.
Right. find a good platform. So I've got a few last quick questions for you. These are all think fast, not hard. Okay.
Good
One
luck.
quick answer. First thing that comes to mind. Overrated or underrated AI in marketing?
Neutral.
Nope. Pick one. You can't go in the middle.
Underrated.
Perfect. Safe bet or risky bet? AI agents making purchases.
Risky right now.
I'd agree. The one thing that matters more than people think.
In terms of
I don't know. What's the one thing to you that matters more than people think?
friends and family first. Friends, family, health, and some other things.
I love that answer. Balance your life, but actually keep it unbalanced. Keep it more Keep more weight in the friends and family.
Exactly.
Yeah, no more balanced life BS, right?
Yeah, you do that next time.
Yeah, weight it. Now, one very last thing on top of that. If you had one last dollar to spend on a media bit, where would you spend it?
I was trying to think of something funny, like, anything that can feed me right now. I had $1 to spend on any platform. TikTok.
Interesting. We love a good stream of TikTok, but that's all we have today. This has been a fantastic conversation. We might be out of questions. We're never out of personality here. And we want to say thank you to David for joining us, and thank you to Human for making this week possible on Cannesversations at Possible 2026. Yes, I know exactly what I just did there. But ultimately speaking, we hope you have a great day. We'll see you soon. A few weeks in Cannes. After that, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye, all.